Hello everyone, this is Little D and welcome to the very first video of my new channel. Today I'm doing a deck profile of one of my favorite decks in all of the game, which is my Synchron Quasar deck. This deck can do some amazing stuff and you will definitely enjoy playing it. So, without any further delay, let's get started with the deck profile. To start things up, we're playing 3 copies of Quickdraw Synchron. This guy is one of your main tuner monsters that you want to see turn 1 if possible, since he can be used for the synchro summon of some specific synchro monsters that you cannot summon otherwise, so you must run 3 copies. Same thing goes for Junk Synchron. When this card is normal summoned, you can revive a level 2 or lower monster, which can really help you with your combos, so you want to see Junk Synchron as soon as possible. The next card we're playing is 3 copies of Jet Synchron. This guy is a level 1 tuner that can revive itself by discarding any card and can also search Junk Synchron when he is used as a material. Keep in mind that you can only use one of these 2 effects per turn and you must choose wisely. Next, we are playing the 1 copy of Synchron Explorer. This card has a similar effect to Junk Synchron, but he is mainly here for his name, but we will get to that later. For the non-synchron monsters, we're playing 3 copies of Doppelwarrior. This card can summon itself from your hand when you revive another monster, and can also spawn 2 level 1 tokens if he is used as a material, so he is pretty important. Same thing goes with the 1 Dandylion. When this card is sent to the graveyard by any means, he also special summons 2 level 1 tokens that can be used for any synchro summon. So, it's a pretty important card. Next, we have 3 copies of Level Eater. This card can keep reviving itself by reducing the level of one level 5 or higher monster you control by 1. And you will really have a bad time without him in your graveyard, believe me. Next, we're playing 1 copy of Glow Up Bulb. This card can once per duel revive itself by sending the top card from your deck to the graveyard, and it's pretty much the best tuner monster in the game. Obviously, there's no point in running more than 1. The next card is the 1 copy of Mathematician. Pretty simple. There are a lot of monsters that you want to see in your graveyard turn 1, and his Foolish Burial effect can be really helpful. Next, we're playing 1 copy of Synchro Fusionist. When this guy is used as a synchro material, you can search for any fusion or polymerization card, and in this deck the only target for that effect is instant fusion, so it's a pretty useful card. Next, we're playing the 1 copy of Power Giant. This card can summon itself in a similar way than Quickdraw, with the difference that he is not a tuner monster, so you can do some synchro summoning here. Next, we're playing 2 copies of Ryko, Lightsworn Hunter. We're including a Lightsworn engine because of the milling effects. In this case, the better target is Ryko, being level 2 and also having the ability to pop any card when he is flip summoned. For the last of the monsters, we're playing the 2 copies of Maxx and 1 copy of Effect Veiler. They're pretty much self-explanatory, so that's it for the monsters. Moving on to the spells, we're playing Triple Tuning. This card is our main searcher card and has another really useful effect that when you search for a Synchron monster such as Junk Synchron and Quickdraw Synchron most of the times, you then mill the top card from your deck to the graveyard, so that can really open some good plays. We're playing the one copy of ROTA. Pretty obvious, this card can search Junk Synchron or Doppelwarrior depending on the situation. The one Foolish Burial. So, this card is amazingly good into this deck, since there are a lot of monsters that you want to see in your graveyard immediately, and it can help you get that missing combo piece as soon as possible. So, you must run it. The one copy of 1/1. That's a very useful card that can special summon a level 1 monster from your deck, either a tuner or a non-tuner, by the cost of discarding another monster from your hand. So, it can help you. The one copy of Upstart Goblin, instantly making your deck a 39 card deck. So, it's pretty bad that this card got hit, but we're still playing the one copy. Next, we're playing the one Soul Charge. This card is the final note to our big boards, since it can give you a second Quasar after you summon the first, or give you a little boost when you need it for a synchro summon in general. So, you must run this card, it's amazingly good. We're playing one copy of Instant Fusion. This card gives you a free synchro summon with Norden, but we're not running another one since we're also running the Synchron Fusionist, so we can search this card. The next card, two copies of Charge of the Light Brigade. Used with Ryko, you can potentially mill 6 cards and get a really big help for your big push. To round up our spells, we're running 2 copies of Twin Twisters. Cleaning up 2 spell or trap cards from your opponent's back row is very important, and this card can also help you get the right card from your hand to the graveyard, such as Level Eater or something else. Lastly, the one copy of Raigeki, because who doesn't like clearing the opponent board? That's exactly 40 cards, and we're playing no trap cards into this deck. Moving on to the extra deck, we're playing one copy of our big boss monster, Shooting Quasar Dragon. This card is our ultimate goal, and if it is summoned, we pretty much control the game. So, one copy. We're also playing Quasar's newest form, Stardust Sifr Divine Dragon. This card adds the protection Quasar needed to become unstoppable, and he also has a negation effect for a monster effect, and he can destroy any card on the field after that effect is used. Running a second Quasar in place of this card is also acceptable, but I prefer this guy. The next card is one copy of Stardust Chronicle Spark Dragon. This card can become undefeated when you have a lot of synchro monsters in your graveyard, since it can become unaffected for a whole turn by banishing one synchro monster, and it's quite a beast with 3000 attack points. Keep in mind that you cannot use this card in Europe in any official tournament because it hasn't been officially released there. So all of you guys who don't have this option, I suggest you play one copy of Tatsunoko instead. Next, the one copy of Trishula. Pretty obvious. You can make this card pretty easily in this deck, and you can get a very big advantage. You can even make this card during your opponent's main phase. It sounds crazy, I know, but we'll get to that later. Next, we're playing one copy of Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon. Easy to summon and important for putting some pressure to your opponent. We're also playing one copy of Road Warrior. This card is a 3k monster that can be easily summoned with Quickdraw, and it can give you a low level machine type or warrior type monster from your deck, such as Z Synchron or Doppelwarrior, which is a free synchro material, and you will do some amazing combos with Road Warrior. Next, we're playing one copy of Drill Warrior. He is the level 6 target for Quick Draw, and his effect can really help you recover in some really extreme situations, since it allows you to return any monster from your graveyard to your hand. And I really prefer this card than Junk Gardener, but you should really look that card as well. You may like it better. Next, we're playing one copy of Stardust Charge Warrior, a generic level 6 monster that gives you a free card when he is synchro summoned. Then that's very important in this deck. The next card is Jet Warrior. This guy is the level 5 target for Quickdraw Synchron, and you can also summon him with Jet Synchron, and you instantly bounce a card from your opponent's board to the hand, which could be a problematic card or a backrow card or something like that. He also has another effect which allows him to be summoned from the graveyard by tributing a level 2 or lower monster, but unfortunately that cannot include Level Eater, because he cannot be tributed except for a tribute summon. And if you use that effect, Jet Warrior gets banished after he leaves the field. The next card we're playing is one copy of Accel Synchron, a generic level 5 monster that is a very flexible tuner, since it can modify his level by sending a synchro monster from your deck to the graveyard. So that's the main reason we have Synchron Explorer into the deck, because he is the only level 2 synchron monster we're running. So this card is very important because it can send your Jet Synchron to the graveyard, which you can also use afterwards as a level 1 tuner. And he also has the ability to make a synchro summon with cards including this card during your opponent's main phase. And you can make cards like Trishula during your opponent's phase. That's very important. Most people forget about that effect, but it can really be used for your benefit. We're playing the one copy of our star TG Hyper Librarian. This card lets you draw a card whenever a monster is synchro summoned, which is insane into this deck. And I can't really say anything else. This card is included without question. We're also playing Armades, Keeper of Boundaries, which is another generic level 5 monster, and I've selected Armades over any other generic level 5 monster available due to the fact that his effect is the most useful effect in today's meta, and I wanted another generic level 5, so I had to run him. For the last synchro monster, we're playing two copies of Formula Synchron. This card is the partner in crime with TG Hyper Librarian, as it also gives you a card when summoned. He's also a level 2 tuner, so you can make himself at pretty much any time. So, also has the effect that allows you to synchro summon into your opponent's main phase, which was the original card that had this effect. The last card we're playing is the one copy of Elder Entity Norden, the single instant fusion target that can revive a tuner master and give you a free synchro summon. So guys, this is it for today's deck profile. Be sure to tell me your opinion about this deck down in the comments below, and also subscribe to my channel for more future videos. Also, tell me your opinion about making a combo video for this deck, because there are a lot of crazy stuff you can do, and it could really help you get started. So, this is Little D signing out.